From time immemorial, our ancestors have put a deep meaning into any of their occupations, and the subtleties of different crafts were kept, passing from generation to generation. These are details, important accents of which the culture and way of living of the Great Steppe civilization were built for centuries. The School of Nomads is for studying the past, creating the present to build the future. In today's program, horse harness ornament for stallion, the ancient horse equipment of Scythians, old methods of making saddles. Our ancestors said, adornment of the gigot, a wife with an easygoing character and a fast horse in a beautiful harness. Yes, the Kazakh man has always paid special attention to equipping his horse. After all, according to it, the people determine the status of the rider. We are nomads, which means that our entire culture is connected with the horse. After all, nomads gave the world civilization such things as pants, high-booted boots and heels, and all because they first saddled a horse. Therefore, today I want to visit a workshop where horse equipment is made. Kazakhs call such craftsmen yershi, from the word yer, saddle. My country is famous for its excellent craftsmen yershi, and one of them, Turkestan resident Janbolat Suyumbay. Janbolat Aga, hello. Hi, you are welcome. Hello. My name is Samat. I came to you specially from Almaty. I study our traditional crafts. Welcome. It is impossible to imagine a Kazakh without a horse, and you are the master who makes the perfect outfit. I would like to see how you work, to learn from you something. Well, will you teach me? Of course, we'll teach you. Well, thank you. We're preparing wood here. And the equipment is made of wood. Of course, from this log we will plan the parts. And the tree itself must be at least 5 years old. And this, what is kind of equipment will be? A saddle. Ah, now I understand. Yes, this is the place where the rider sits. Now, so let me start right now. Excellent. Come on. Here you can finish here. Thank you. That's the way it's called from the doorstep I started to work. Master Janbolat, it turns out, learned this craft from his father. Now he himself teaches how to make saddles to his sons and neighbors' boys. Despite the age, these guys weave such beautiful whips. They say that the demand for their kamcha is high. Most likely, the first horse equipment was made in Stone Age. After all, modern scientists have proved that for the first time the horse was domesticated 5,500 years ago on the territory of modern Kazakhstan. Unique artifacts were discovered in the Neolithic settlement of Batai. For example, skulls of horses, on the teeth of which there are traces of bit. Most likely, those simple bits were not made of metal, but of leather. After all, the century was of Stone Age. Meanwhile, the oldest horse equipment that has been preserved on the territory of our country for 3,000 years, necropolis of Burel or the Valley of the Kings. Here, along with the leaders, the Scythians also buried their horses in ceremonial outfits. The harnesses are decorated with gold and platinum plaques, made in animal style. Horse equipment consists of many parts. Today I will learn to the basic. It's a saddle. The most important thing here is to choose the right wood. Most masters prefer birch or willow. And for work it will be good to use a tree felled only in autumn. It is then that the stem contains the least amount of moisture. so this material will not crack when drying, and the saddle will turn out to be light. So our log is ready. Then what do we do? Next, we will cut it into necessary parts. Then let's go. Yes. So how are we going to cut it, and what parts will we make? We make parts for the assembled saddle. Is this the future saddle? Yes, we will assemble it. Therefore, it is called an assembled. And so, will we do like this? Exactly. There are these parts, and these are separate parts of the saddle. And what part will we do now? We will do this part here. Here are these two sides. Yes, this is the front side. It consists of two separate parts. Then, let's get started. The main parts of the saddle are front and back. The front has a slight inclination forward and looks higher. The back is wider and lower. Most importantly, the saddle should be assembled so that the rider sitting in it did not move out. But can I try to do this too? What thickness should it be? About 5 centimeters. Oh, that's the way it should be. Am I holding the instrument correctly? Yes. Of course, it's not very convenient, because this is the first time I do it. It is this method that we will work on all parts of the saddle. The saddle is the main element of all equipment and is designed to make horse and rider comfortable. After both sides have been leveled, we draw the contours along the pattern, and after, cut with a saw. I could hardly cut it. Oh yes, there is no easy work, Samajan. That's for sure. Now, cut it out. All parts of the saddle are assembled together with glue. Here it is worth noting that the master, Jambulat, prefers glue his own production, but according to an old recipe. Friends, you will never guess what I am hitting so hard here. This is the tendon of animals. In general, glue is made here from such tendons and boiled animal skins. This is according to the ancient recipe of Nomads. Janbulat, tell us more. The material from the tendons is called pie. We should split it in fibers. Initially, we put the tendons in salt water. Then we dry and get a pie. Very strong material, hard to break. It's not cotton, it's tendons. They are strong. And this is how they're divided. And it turns out like cotton wool in the end. Yes, it seems, but this is a hugely strong and durable material. To it, I will add a sticky mass, which I boiled from the horse's skin. Now I'll show you everything. And we will get a glue, the strength of which is enough for half a century and more. According to Jambolat, this glue is able to hold the fastener to 50 years. And the modern types of glues do not guarantee such strength. As Jambolat says, after 20 years, the saddle on ordinary glue will begin to fall apart. A sticky substance, which is prepared by Jambolat, consists for the most part of boiled horse skin. The recipe for glue is inherited, and so the master did not tell me all the subtleties of the workmanship. But I am still glad that such a unique method is preserved by our artisans.
Dostlar, біздің
So I learned to carve a saddle base from the piece of wood, kas.
деп аталатын бөлігін жонуды, өстіп шабуды үйрендім. Одан кейін аға көшпелі
Master Jambolat also showed me the glue, made according to an old recipe, and now we collect parts of the saddle.
Енді бұл
Jambolat, how long does it take to complete this process?
қаңқасының өзіне ғана.
Қаңқасының өзіне ғана
It requires 3 to 4 days.
3-4 күн уақыт.
Yes, not fast. We do not have much time. You have here, it turns out, there are other preparations. What are you doing with them?
Ары қарай жағы терімен қаптаймыз, соны қазір мен сыртта көрсетейін.
We will continue to trim the workpiece with leather. Now I'll show you how we make the skin for this.
Бұл тиын.
This is the camel's skin.
Түйенің
Camel?
Бұны.
Yes.
Иә.
Ew, how it stings.
Бұны өз
Do you make it yourself?
Қолдан өзіміз.
Yes, manually. Rip off from the skin. And how do you do it? The flesh is folded so that it's fused with each other. We press it with our legs so that there would be no air between the folds.
Орап, аяқпен басып, мына ішінде ауа қалдырмай.
Then we put it in a bag and wait 3 days.
3 күн, 3 суткада тұрады.
So the wool will be easy to separate. Another way to felting the skin is on kefir. To do this, a dairy product is poured into a large container and the skin is put there. This method is called malma. Goat or sheep skins are kept on yogurt for 6 to 9 days, and cattle 15 to 20 days. After the necessary time, the skin is removed, and the hair is easily removed from it with the help of a special comb. Is it finished leather? This is bridle leather and it's ready. Do you need to dry it? No. In this condition, we will pull on the saddle, so it will be better laid off. Let's begin to sew around the saddle. Yes, let's go.
Егер қаптайық.
Ал енді теріні қаптай қосыған, е?
Then start sewing around.
Қаптаймыз енді ал. Осылай.
You should measure everything. That would be enough.
Жететін деп қоямыз.
That the thing turned out beautiful and qualitative, we need not only the skill of the author, but of course the necessary tools. In the producing of the saddle, we use now a hammer and small nails. We stretch wet bridle leather on the workpiece and gently nail on the edges. The skin will dry and stretch the entire surface, because its task is to firmly hold all parts of the design. According to the master, such a saddle can be padded on a car. There will not be any harm with it. Horse equipment from ancient times was valued and revered by our ancestors. It was even part of the girl's dowry. To favorite akans and singers, fans gave a horse and necessarily a richly decorated harness.
Атыңды сатсаң сат, ертұрманыңды сатпа деген қазақта мақал бар.
When selling a horse, never give a harness, say the Kazakhs. Otherwise, you will lose all your wealth. Such a belief exists among us.
Деген сияқты бір мағына бар. Сондай мағына шығар енді ата-бабамыздан қалған мақал мәтел ғой.
Yes, there are many customs associated with saddling. For example, to cut a bang of a horse leads to a quarrel, and sharpening the mane and saddling the horse backwards is a sign of death. Because since ancient times, the horse which lost its rider was saddled only backwards. Just at home, the saddle of the deceased intends to turn over. Жанболат, it turns out, trimmed bridle, weather saddle. Now it will be necessary again to sew. Yes, with such a beautiful leather, yes, it is thicker and more beautiful. We choose it at the request of the customer. Someone asked for a black color, someone gray. This saddle will be gray. Thus we take the most even and beautiful part of the leather, draw and cut with a sharp knife. Next, you need to determine the center using the ruler. Just note the center of the saddle. Then, how these marks should match with each other. Pattern on the surface of the leather is applied with a red-hot shape and keep it for 10 minutes. Such an ornament will never disappear from the surface of our item. Now we need to cover both the surface of the saddle and the underside of our leather with our special glue. So we applied glue. Now we keep this side, that we would fit the ornament to the center. Here, and it will be like this. You see? You must always straighten by your hands. Then between the skeleton and the leather wouldn't be air. We cut off the excess, and thus it is necessary to sew the entire saddle. Only, you have to measure everything accurately. A mistake of at least 2 centimeters will lead to the fact that the skin will simply have to be thrown away. Therefore, I relied the rest of this process on the master. Well, Samajan, the client has come. Come, I'll show you how to saddle a horse. And the ordering customer of this equipment? Of course. Let's go. Janbolat has many clients throughout Kazakhstan. And this master made the most beautiful outfit for his compatriot Nurjan. Now we will fully equip the horse and see if everything has come up to size. Janbolat, please show how to put all this equipment in place correctly. Of course, now we'll show. First, we take the horse cover.
Тоқыма?
Астындағы.
and for what it is needed.
Бұл жағы атқа жұмсақ
Then the saddle will not rub the horse's back.
тоқым салынады бірінші.
Ah, that would be softer. Yes.
Одан кейін
Now saddle bows. They lie on both sides.
Қапталына ердің жұмсақ тию үшін
And now the saddle. Thus, each element of the harness is put on alternately. Next, we attach belts. All pressure is restrained by this part. Otherwise, the saddle can simply roll over. Now, Samad, carry a bridle bit with a snaffle. It's all mess. Which one is the bridle? You have a bridle in your left hand.
міне
Can I try it myself?
міне
Like this. Like it. Just put the bridle bit at first. First a bridle bit. Yes. Even one bridle consists of several parts. Like it, bridle bit and a special headband. Same belts for bangs and ears. Next, we put on the throat band and bind reins to tie the horse. And at the very end, there are reins with which they control horse. The following details are called the crupper and the breastplate. The crupper keeps the saddle up so that it does not move forward. And the task of the chest straps is to fix the saddle so that it does not slide back. All these belts are made of bridal leather and they're decorated with beautiful silver plaques. Well, are you happy, Nurjan? Beautiful outfit. I really liked it. Let me sit on him. On the view, it turned out very luxuriously. Let's sit on the saddle, see if it's convenient for you, and I'll watch from the outside. The new harness really fit our horse. How beautiful she is now. Yes, that's how our great-grandfathers once protected our land, sitting on the saddle. Apparently, from here and the expression was made up that the tulpar keeps his harness and the people keep their land. Janbalat, are you not tired? Of course not. And I admit that I am a little tired. And while I will start working on next order, I spent all day in your workshop, and for obvious reasons, we did not make the whole equipment today from beginning to the end. But I learned something, saw a lot of interesting things, learned interesting subtleties of craft, how our ancestors did saddle, what glue they had, and how they worked with the leather. Thank you for everything.
саған да рахмет.
And thank you, Samad. Frankly, you have talent, and you can become a good master.
Қабілеттің арқасында бір ай жүрсең меңгеріп алатындай ұста болып шығуға қабілетің бар екен енді.
When our children are interested in such crafts, we're only happy.
Үйренгісі келіп жатса біз қуанамыз.
Most important, I wish you success on this path of development of the ancient nomadic craft. I want to wish you good health. Thank you. I will come to you. I want to learn a lot from you. Okay, see you. Bye. My people from ancient times worshipped the horse and called it the wings of a jigget. Of course, today most of us do not ride horses, and we live more often in the cities. But nevertheless, I believe that the younger generation must know what a horse is and its equipment. After all this is an integral part of our culture. Today, throughout the country, you can meet talented craftsmen in leather and wood. And it would be great that young people would learn from them the craft, and then it would be handed over to the next generation.